Hello and welcome to DJ's Movie Reviews. I write short movie reviews for people with short attention spans. You can find me on Facebook and Twitter at DJ's Movies, spelled DEEJAYSMOVIES, and occasionally I can be found on Twitch at the same handle. Hit the subscribe button, tap the bell icon to get notified when new episodes drop, give me a thumbs up on the video if you enjoyed the content, and finally, feel free to leave a message and suggest a movie to review. Today's movie review is for the animated film Onward. But before we begin, please be aware that this review contains spoilers. You've been warned. Let's start by meeting our director. This movie is directed by Dan Scanlon, who wears a couple of hats in the movie industry. In addition to directing this movie, he also directed Monsters University, and he's the executive producer for the animated film Soul and Turning Red, which is due to come out later this year. This movie stars Tom Holland from the new Spider-Man trilogy, Chris Pratt from Guardians of the Galaxy, Julia Louis-Dreyfus from A Bug's Life, Octavia Spencer from Hidden Figures, Mel Rodriguez from The Watch, Kyle Bornheimer from Camp X-Ray, Tracy Ullman from In the Woods, John Ratzenberger from Toy Story, Wilmer Valderrama from That 70s Show, Lena Waithe from Ready Player One, Ali Wong from Birds of Prey. Here's the plot. Set in a suburban fantasy world, two teenage elf brothers embark on a quest to discover if there is still magic out there. Here's the rundown. It begins before modern time when mythical creatures like elves, ogres, unicorns, and centaurs roamed free, when a little bit of magic went a long way. But then they discovered electricity, and magic didn't seem like the way to go anymore. The once proud creatures began to depend on the convenience of electricity to power and warm their homes, give them the light to see in the dark, and offer an easier way to do things. Unfortunately, in doing so, they forgot who they were and what they could do. This story is centered around a family of elves, mainly Ian, Barkley, and Laurel Lightfoot. Ian is a shy, skinny elf that just wants to belong, but doesn't know how to. And Barley is a hyper-imaginative fantasy board game nerd with a huge heart and a vast knowledge of history. Together, these brothers are set on a quest to bring their father back to the land of the living for just one day. But because magic has been lost through the ages, doing so will be a tall order. They discover that Ian has the power to bring him back, but he's only able to bring him halfway back. The rest of the movie is dedicated to the journey and adventure that must be done to bring him all the way back. Along the way, the brothers bond in a way they didn't think possible and learn things about each other that bring them closer together. This movie is very good. The story in itself sheds a light on who we as a people have become due to technology. We have become dependent on all the modern conveniences that have made us lazy. That's another story for another time. The film also illustrates a great family theme that shows where the heart is. It asks the question, how far would you go to see someone you love who is no longer here, if only for a few minutes? What would you do? This movie feels like it would be good to use as a coping mechanism for kids and families that lose a primary member. I can relate to the characters on a personal level, being someone who lost their father at a young age. My answer is that I would go to the ends of the earth in case you're wondering. With that, this movie is very emotional, funny, endearing, and very entertaining. If you have kids like animation, enjoy a good film with mythical creatures, or are a fan of science fiction, then this movie just might be in your wheelhouse. I give this film 5 out of 5 stars. Thank you very much for joining me here today. All of the movies mentioned in this review have been linked in the description box for you to discover. Click away and check them out. Do me a favor and hit the subscribe button. And feel free to leave a comment and suggest a movie to review, or, if you disagree with my verdict, put it in the comments as well. I would love to see what you have to say. This is DJ from DJ's Movie Reviews. Have a great day.